training while disabled. Let's go into that. Now, this is something that I was thinking about, and I had a family member that was training for a major company, and they had to do a tour of all the different departments so that they learn more about it. But the thing is that they had them walking outside. It's Florida, it's humid, it's hot, and they had to walk around for maybe a couple miles outside even. And this family member of mine almost passed out just trying to train and do their job. And so it's tough, especially when you have to do these things. But sometimes even training is not so feasible. And for people like myself, they'll be like, okay, so yeah, we're going to be training on this day. It'll be like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday training. And I'm like, yeah, I can do Tuesday. I can't do Monday, and I can't do Wednesday. So then what? So that's some of the things that we have to go through as well for some of us who are disabled. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, because training is one thing that I've embraced a lot in my life to advance my skill sets and other things. But inevitably, I hit the barriers that are in the room as a wheelchair user. Some training programs have never had a disabled person in them. Other training programs are very what I consider medical model, which is about, oh, well, we'll just help you with this until you can get better and heal yourself, you know? And I have disabilities. That's a fact. Whether they wax or wane is nobody's business but my own. I am who I am. Training is important, but it's also hella expensive. When you don't have enough money to survive, there are many training opportunities that I would love to take part in, many certifications that could quantify my experience in a way that is positive and presentable to other people. However, it's $600 to sit for that exam. It's $1,000 to go through this program. And there's not the resource to really fund these things, but then added on to that training energy expansion, I have the accessibility energy expansion that I have to then educate these people. So at one point in my college time, when I was attending classes and in a master's program, I was attending their orientation, and their words directly to me were, oh, you're going to have to teach us about disability and how we can do better. This was a public health program in a university, a state university.
Wow.
And, and then there's always the punitive side of it where you ask for an accommodation. And if you haven't gone through all of the legitimate steps, you disagree with the instructor on an issue that you know more than they do, but they think they know more than you do. Then all of a sudden your accommodation gets weaponized against you. It's like, oh, you didn't go through all the steps. So I've been giving you special treatment and you're not respecting me for that special treatment.
Special treatment my ass.
Exactly.
Just getting me mad, man.
Yeah. So, in all of this over time, I had two options for myself. And I didn't realize at the time I had these two conscious options. One was to be timid and walk away and accept my lot in life and become, the wallflower that never asked for anything more. The other one was the other side was to start being vocal, start to speak out against these things, start to ally with other people, including workers, including others in the training cohort, including all of these things. And I opted for the more vocal side of it. And it may or may not serve me well today. It's who I am, though. It's who I need to be.
Yes.
And people need to see that as me. And when I go into a place, I want to be appreciated because I am a complex being and I may be a little vocal, but I give people 110% almost all the time. If you're in my circle and I have the capacity to help somebody, I'm there. I still, on my very measly amount of income or, my Social Security check, I still will give $5 or $10 here or there when somebody that I know that I care about, whether I know you deeply or not, whether and I'm in caring about you, it feeds me to be able to give. Even if it's giving a resource, even if it's giving this program or that program. But through all of it, you know, I also have reached the point where I know I have to put the oxygen mask on me so that I can diversify my skill set and have more impact overall. You know, I have to look at the icky of the money bottom line in order to do some of these things. And that's my icky. I'm not saying that's any icky from anybody else. It's just I would much rather deal with the resource of people and humanity than deal with the capitalistic struggle that says I have to have it. Goes back to your basic benefits of, if I had my housing, if I had guaranteed food that met my need, if I had whatever healthcare I needed based on my decisions and not based on some rubric of what society says I'm allowed, you know, I could be a whole different person, but we're not there yet.